We've all had to figure out if we should do something alone or with people by our side at some point in our lives. For example, like when you study for a test. At times it sounds fun to study with friends, but other times it feels easier to study alone so that you can go at your own pace without any distractions. Or like when you have a crush on that one classmate. Sure, you want to bring your friends into the mix because they can hype you up, but you fear that telling more people can make things more complicated and ruin your chances with this person if your secret gets out. So you just decide to keep it to yourself. Or maybe this. How about all the gamers? If you had the choice of playing your favorite game alone or having to teach your younger sibling how to play, you probably wouldn't think twice about choosing to play by yourself. If we think about it, sometimes life seems easier when we try to go at it alone. There are so many situations like doing homework or doing chores that are easier to manage when no one else is involved. If we're honest, the same is true for living with integrity. Throughout this series, we've been talking about how integrity is authenticity plus good character. Most of the time, good character is about how we treat others. The complicated thing is that other people often make it difficult to be authentic or have good character. While life is full of incredible friendships and relationships that give us joy and make life better, those same relationships can also come with moments that make living with integrity more challenging. If we're called to live with integrity, then how do we show it in our relationships and friendships, especially when they become difficult or complicated? To help us wrestle with these questions, let's look at a book from the New Testament called 1 Corinthians. Paul sent letters to followers of Jesus and members of the early church to encourage and teach them about what it means to follow Jesus' example. And in this letter we're about to read, Paul wrote to the church in a city called Corinth, where followers of Jesus were struggling with things like disagreements, broken relationships, and just general chaos. This is what he wrote. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. It always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Regardless of the relationship, Paul explained here that love is the key. If we want to live a life of integrity and have healthy relationships, we have to be intentional. There's something Paul said in that passage that really stands out to me. He said, love doesn't dishonor others. If we're wondering how to navigate a difficult situation in a relationship, asking one question can help us figure out what love and integrity looks like. What does honoring the other person look like? We all have the ability to honor others, no matter how difficult it may seem. We just need to use the tools we have and the direction God gives us to do it. Now, God wants us to honor others, but we're also called to honor ourselves. Honoring ourselves and honoring others is how we should love and live with integrity. Integrity honors everybody involved. This isn't always easy, so let's talk more about what this looks like. First, a life of integrity speaks well of people behind their backs. You're not kind to them in front of them and showing them love, and then with your friends being like, man, I can't stand him. It's so hard to be like that with him. Secondly, a life of integrity means you can disagree without insulting. Just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't mean they're stupid, ignorant, or blind. They might just see something from a different point of view. They might have lived through things that you haven't lived through that makes them view the world differently. And lastly, a life of integrity forgives. Jesus calls us to forgive those around us just as he forgave us. So let me be clear that integrity also means standing up for yourself and getting help when you need it. Talk to a trusted adult like a parent, a guardian, one of your leaders at church. to help you navigate a situation if you feel like you need help and you can't do it on your own. When we live a life of integrity by honoring others, we demonstrate love to everyone around us and experience better, healthier relationships. Integrity honors everyone involved. So before you go, I want you to chew on this. What's one way you could begin to live a life of integrity that honors everyone around you? See you guys next week.